Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the 10K Project Bet on Black pitch. Uh, you all are members, so you know that we are the largest community of Black investors and small dollar investors overall who actively fund Black-owned businesses. And tonight is no different. We have Mary here. So I'm going to try to remember to do like Tawana does. I have the honeycomb credit page here, and our wonderful admin is uh, putting it in the chat for us. But this is Mary's page here. So the company's name is Vitamin Kandie, and we have done a couple of deals through Honeycomb Credit before. These are debt deals. Mary has 15 days left on her campaign. You can see that here. She has her target of 25,000, maximum raise of 50,000. This is her interest rate here. And you're able to go down the page here, see her website, ask her questions. You're able to see her video here. And to the left-hand side, you have all sorts of information about her project, the business, the summary of the deal, the documents, and the Q&A. But we're going to go down a little bit further where she talks about her business itself, the overview, and then all the way down at the bottom, we do have her SEC documents. So again, this is her information here about the loan purpose, etc. Information about your potential returns. And you keep going down further here, view our offering documents. She has her SEC filings and her offering statement. As always, we say to do your research, do your due diligence. You are here today to hear the Bet on Black pitch. Mary's going to take a few moments, introduce herself. She has a presentation to share with us. And then because we have so many new members, the way that it works is Mary gives her presentation. If you have a question for Mary, we ask you to put it in the Q&A and not the chat. We stay here as long as necessary in order to read everyone's questions. We encourage you to ask your questions. We want you to be educated investors, and Mary will answer those questions. We don't overlook questions either. We ask the tough ones here, and that is perfectly fine. Mary, we usually do about 10 to 20 minutes of a presentation, and then we open it up for Q&A. So that is how it works for you and for everyone else. And again, we have our admin putting the link to Honeycomb Credit to Mary's campaign in the chat. And our admin is going to be doing that a lot during tonight's session. So don't worry if you miss it, it's going to pop up again. So welcome, Mary.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I guess I can go ahead and share my screen now so you guys can see my presentation. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
No, not yet.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can you see it now?
No, we don't see it. So you see share screen at the bottom of the, okay. And it's not allowing you to show your screen at all because we're not seeing it.
One more time, because it should be letting me do that. Give me 1 more second.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm trying one more time.
Okay.
All right, I think it's gonna allow me to share
All right. Ah, there it is. It's
now.
starting now. Yes,
Okay.
perfect.
Sometimes you know how it goes. It does what it wants. All right, here we are. Oops. All right. Hello, everyone. I am Mary Johnson, and I am the owner of Vitamin Kandie LLC. This is a picture here of the cafe that I currently have. So that's what you're viewing. Vitamin Kandie is an innovative line of all natural herbs and juices that offers nutrition on a go to hopeful spirits that are interested in improving their personal health. I specialize in a combination of like cold pressed juices, all natural herbs, healthy food, wellness overall, really, and life balance. A few of the items that I offer that you see before you are recharge, recovery, reset. And as you can see in the lower picture, that's a little display of one of my rice bowls that I sell. Let me give you a little background about myself. Back in 2009, I was 120 pounds overweight after a failed marriage and not really taking care of myself. I was a college student working two full-time jobs and just kind of let myself go. And beforehand, I was always into like athletics and stuff like that. And I just kind of, fell to the wayside, taking care of everyone else except for me. By 2009, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And on my lunch break, I decided to just kind of do a little research about this local gym here in my city of Cleveland, Ohio, and see, what I can sign up for, what type of classes they were offering, so I could just get a little jump start, that little nudge I needed just to get started. So I did that. I joined the gym, and then by 2010, I had lost 120 pounds. And of course, that came with just changing the way my diet and what I ate, what I put in, all of the exercises that I did at the gym. And on top of that, I kind of added a little extra. I would go walking like the neighborhood parks and all that stuff because it just became like the new norm for me and really made me happy. So because the owner of the gym felt like this was some awesome things that I was doing, her and her administration decided to run like an audition for trainers. And they asked me to do that. And I did. So 2010, I became a certified group fitness trainer and personal trainer. I started teaching at that very gym that I lost the weight at and helping all the other people that were actually on the same side of the floor as me trying to do the same thing. That led to Vitamin Kandie being born. Within 2010, that year, I really had issues with my digestive tract because I don't know if you guys know this, if you lose weight, a tremendous amount of weight at a rapid pace, it kind of offsets your whole digestive tract. And I did not want to rely on over-the-counter medicine. So I did a little research and I found out when you mix acidic fruits and vegetables together, along with some of the natural herbs that come from the earth, that it'll help you kind of get your flow back the natural way. So I did that. My first Vitamin Kandie juice was my recharge, and it consisted of pears, pineapples, wheatgrass, sea moss, and wheatgrass. And I made this concoction for myself, and I kept making it, and I decided to change it into like a 3-day cleanse, and I would do this once a month. So my friends started asking me, Mary, why does your skin look so nice? And you just got this glow about you. What are you doing? So I told her and I made her some of my juice. And she was like, oh my God, you really have to like start selling this stuff. And I'm like, well, no, I just did it for you to help you to get you started. I don't think that no one's going to buy it. Well, she was absolutely correct. And people started to inquire, and I started making it in mason jars and selling it out of the trunk of my car. I would make cases of it, bring it to the gym when I taught my classes, and I would sell it to some of the members. So 2015, I finally decided to just go ahead and make Vitamin Kandie and LLC because so many people had started coming to me for help. Not only the juices, but then it turned into meal prep and just kind of teaching them, having like little meetings like this, but it was sort of face-to-face versus Zoom. Back then we wasn't really using this kind of technology. And I would just kind of coach them into things that they needed to start out to have a healthy balance with the food. And then that led into paying me for meal prep, and I'm getting a 3-day cleanse. So here we are, 2015, the juice is going, and now I'm starting to add even more products to Vitamin Kandie LLC. By then, 2016 roll around, and I decided to leave the gym that I was at because the business just had gotten bigger than me. Mind you, I was a rock mechanics engineer at the time, and my job was really overwhelming, and I really needed to focus on that. And then I was like, well, you know what? I think that the people need me more. This is my passion. This is what God blessed me with. I really need to, go full time into this fitness training. So I opened up my own studio in University Heights here in Ohio. I have kept that open from 2016 to 2018. And during that time, I realized after all of these things I learned being a rock mechanics engineer and all these things I learned just kind of teaching myself over the years about health and nutrition, and also part of being a certified trainer, you have to learn these things, that the need for my clients was really bigger than just me training them or just the small little 3-day cleanse that they were doing at the time. I'm like, I have to open this up to the community. I have to really do more of trying to help the community and spreading the word, or even teaching someone how to do what I'm doing so that we can help, more people at one time. So in 2019, I released and published my first book, setting a trend off to say, hey, I went from this to that, and you can do it too. And here's a journal. You write this down in this journal, and you can use this for the rest of your life. If you feel like you fell off the bandwagon, you can go ahead and reach back in this book and do that. And in the process, God opened my eyes up and said, look, you need to give more. And that's where the cafe came in. So I started this business plan for the cafe. I was like, okay, I have all this knowledge now with the gym. I know what the clients do and don't want. I have all this past history with being a rock mechanics engineer, and just putting together equations. So I started creating menus, and I'm just like, let me see how much this caloric intake will be, and just kind of testing it on people to see what they like. So I was making meals for free, testing it on folks that I knew, or just doing like pop-up events, at local vendor events in the city. And some I did even out of town when I would speak. And people started to like it. So in 2020, I opened up Vitamin Kandie Cafe 1 and 2. And cafe number 1 was opened up in what we call here Richmond Mall. It was a small little kiosk that I started servicing people. Within that first week, I made $4,000 by selling the juices and the food and everything. And everybody's like, where you been all my life? Like, I need you. This food really makes me feel good. Not only does it make me feel good, I'm happy. I feel lighter. I don't feel like I'm just kind of sluggish after I've eaten the full course meal. I love this. So number 2 was being opened up after competing in what we call the Cleveland NTI Incubator competition. I was like, I'm very competitive. I love just getting my feet wet and learning new things and learning from other people. And I decided to put myself in a position where I'd be able to compete for a space. And that led to me in getting a space in what we call here the Glenville community. And it's like a food desert community where they definitely didn't have their hands on any kind of healthier options that not only were good for them, but did not sacrifice in taste. So here we are in 2020, and you guys know that the pandemic hit, and that caused me to close the Richmond Mall location. And I kept open Glenville, and I still just serviced people, in that aspect, and helping them fight COVID and all those good things. What you see before you is a menu that was concocted during the time I opened up the Richmond Square Mall location, which was the first one. And it was a combination of the juices, the smoothies, the wrap sandwiches, salads, rice bowls, and not to mention the catering. If you caught what I said before, you heard that I said that I was doing meal prep for people. Well, I had a staff of 7 at the time, so I also would have them help me do catering meals. I know it's sort of small to see, but what you see picture here before you is what one of my quinoa bowls that has almonds and mandarin oranges, kale, all of the good stuff, chia seeds, all the good stuff in there that's very flavorful and just make you want to come back for more. So this menu was shared between the Richmond location and the Glenville location. During 2020, when COVID first hit, from January up until March, I had did a pretty good. I started out with pretty good revenue, and then March hit, and of course we declined a little bit. But I still managed to stay open because people wanted my herbs. I'll get a little bit more into the herb aspect of it because I'm not sure if you all are familiar with things like sea moss and spirulina, wheatgrass, the hemp seeds, those things. I was servicing people on that level, and also I made a little package of like a little a fight COVID package that consisted of turmeric, ginger, and things of that sort, so that they can do preventative measures because some people still had to go to work and you know, and things of that sort, or even just to protect themselves and their families within their home after being exposed to the COVID-19. Currently, I am a certified minority business enterprise, and that's just to sum it up. That's one of many accolades that I do have. I am also a urban farmer. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Ridolph Farms. It's an urban farm that's based here in Cleveland, Ohio, and they're actually on the top 5 list of urban farms all over the world. And I pretty much got with some leadership to teach me how to grow so I can bring everyone to farm to table method. And I really want you to like focus in on the picture to your right hand side where I'm holding my book. And as you can see the packaging and label and everything for my juices and herbs and all that stuff, this is what it previously looked like. So if you notice that, I've come a long way since then. And people were still buying these things from me. So that shows you how important and how flavorful and tasty things were and how important it was for people to get it into their systems. Not only that, in the city and in the area of the Glenville where I'm at right now, where I'm currently at, I received the Outstanding Small Business Award from a big company called Famicos Foundation, well, nonprofit organization called Famicos Foundation. They were super excited that I was able to not only keep servicing the community and helping them fight COVID, but on top of that, myself and 7 other Black entrepreneurs are in that space. And everyone had to close except for me. So I kept the building thriving and people aware of what had just come in January of 2020, and to keep them interested and not wanting to go away, thinking that we were all going to flop, you know, after they just opened up this brand new building. And as I stated before, despite of COVID, I continue to thrive. And yes, what you see, my revenue definitely more than quadrupled from 2019 to 2020. I went from 2019 making 16,000 in a year, and I'm all the way to 2020. I ended up getting a revenue of almost $95,000, and that was included my products and all of the food that I service with people. I don't want to fail to mention that during that time, including that COVID package that I made, I also created like wellness box, and it was kind of like your little home wellness toolkit that included my juices in powder form. The same juices that you see in liquid was pressed down into powder form with the fresh fruit and everything. I dried it out and then I made it into a powder form so that they can get it at their doorstep and just kind of like not have any, you know, person to person contact and still benefit from my products even if they didn't want to leave the house. As you already heard, my honeycomb campaign was introduced to you. And the reason why I decided to go with honeycomb is because I first participated in a program called Jumpstart. And they have these cohort programs that they do every year with a lot of entrepreneurs in the city of Cleveland and just all over Ohio, really. They do it in Cleveland, Columbus, and I want to say in Cincinnati. And so I was able to jump in on this 11 cohort, and what they do is prepare you to kind of upscale your business. And to be honest with you, I felt like I took my business as far as I could have taken it on my own. And I needed to recruit some experts in there from finance and to marketing and all those other things to help me grow. Participated in that program, introduced me to Honeycomb Credit. And Honeycomb really is an awesome organization that helps us do the, raise capital for things that we need. As I mentioned previously, I had the location in Richmond Mall. Well, due to COVID, I had to close that location because it was inside of a mall. And that mall has since then been torn down. So you know what that means. No more Vitamin Kandie point one. I had to turn point two into point one. So now that I had made enough revenue to kind of get started with trying to reopen the second location, I since then reached out to Honeycomb after I finished my 11 cohort program to ask for funding to help me continue on this awesome business that I started in the first place. I now want to move that second location to the west side. And as you can see, I'm asking for $24,000 in payroll, 11,000 in inventory costs, and 15,000 in leasing equipment, for the leasing and the equipment. I need this money because now I will have more square footage to operate out of. Not only will this help me save in operational costs, I will be able to give back those 6 employees that I had to let go of their jobs. I will also be able to buy more equipment to help me run business in this larger facility. And I will have a little cushion there to help with the first beginning stages of payroll. And like I mentioned before, for Glenville location, in spite of COVID, I made a pretty good amount in revenue last year. And I expect to double or even triple that by 2022 with reopening up this West Side location. I would like to thank each and every one of you for taking the time out of your evening to listen to me and hear me just kind of go over my pitch and what I'm really trying to do for Vitamin Kandie. Not only am I trying to change the narrative in our Black communities about healthy living and active living and healthy eating, I also want to reach back and grab someone that has the same mindset as I do and teach them along the way that, eating healthy doesn't have to sacrifice taste. Here's my contact information, and you guys can get in contact with me at info@vitaminkandie.com, or give me a call. I'll be happy to chat with anyone. And please, please, please take the time to visit my website. You'll see so much more that I have to offer there, and even learn even more because I try to keep the website updated. And you can hear more of my story on the Honeycomb campaign as well, because the video is also on that website. Thank you.
Very much. All right, all of our veterans, you know how we do it. Put your questions in the Q&A section for us, so that way we are able to read through them and ask Mary these questions. So, all right, so we have some questions here already. The first is, so this is an overall question, but then you can answer it from your point of view. Does an attorney have to complete the SEC filings? So the answer is, a lot of times people will get the attorney to do it. However, there are certain coaches, crowdfunding coaches that are experienced that do it as well. So Mary, from what you did, would you like to disclose who helped you complete that for you?
Yes, Honeycomb actually helped me complete that. And it was filed by an attorney. My administrator, Samantha, she's awesome. She helped me. Myself and Jumpstart, we all worked together to get that completed. So yes.
Perfect. Next question. Is there an e-commerce strategy?
Yes, it is. I'm glad you asked that question. Sometimes a lot of the information that I talk about can get overwhelming. So that was good that you asked that question. I am definitely in that industry. I currently sell my book on Amazon, and I'm also trying to tap into the wholesale market. So that's part of my forecast for the end of 2021 and going into 2022. With all of these wholesale product lines that I have, I am definitely trying to tap into that wholesale market. So e-commerce is definitely in the works.
Perfect. Another question here is, do you have actual vitamins for sale?
I do. I do. If you visit the website, you will see I have sea moss, I do elderberry, I have what is it? I used to have the ginger capsules, but they wasn't selling like that. So I just try to save on inventory and operation costs, and I just kind of scale back from there. But I do all kind of teas and stuff like that. But right now, the biggest vitamin that I do have is my sea moss capsules.
Perfect. Okay, more questions here. Hi, Mary. Very appetizing information. A question: are you planning to pursue partnerships with health facilities and doctors?
Absolutely. Considering I'm an MBE already, I actually talking with Cleveland Clinic. I had a partnership with them already due to the training that I do. And so they would like service the seniors in certain times of the year to give them like health challenges so that they can keep their cholesterol, heart health, all that stuff under control. And so now that I'm on the other side of it with the MBE, I am definitely stepping into their procurement programs where I could try to get my products into their food courts and stuff like that. But it's a long process. So I am in negotiations with it, but nothing's set in stone yet. So that's definitely on the list.
All righty. Well, I am going to ask this question here. Do you have any plans to sell meals via e-commerce like a HelloFresh, especially out
Yes,
of state?
yes, yes, and yes. I get so excited when I talk about my business because the sky's the limit, right? And so many different avenues of it that I can really share and keep changing the world and getting people to understand that eating healthy can still be flavorful. And so, yes, it's a company called Cleveland Central Kitchen Food Hub. I currently have my products in there where I store all of my inventory to help me save on operation inventory expenses. And right now they have a co-packing program. And I just had a meeting literally last week. They pitched their idea to me and how much it would cost to get me started with the co-packing. And the first thing that we plan to start with was the juices and my vegan sauces that I have. And so once I get some more funding, I'll be able to do that. And they will definitely be able to help me along the way. And they are organic certified company as well.
Perfect. Everyone, don't forget to put your questions in the Q&A section for us, please. Next question here is, do you grow your own herbs and what food do you grow on your farm?
Yes, I do. And some of them I outsource. So we have farming partners. So I am partners with Ridolph Farms. I'm the branch off of them, and our farm is called Love Sustainable. And so we currently, well, we had grown, the season is over now, but we had grown our oranges. We did our apples. And I also did all the leafy greens like the romaine lettuce, the spinach, arugula, and some of the herbs that I do outsource is from Ridolph. So I get these herbs from them until we can get enough space to grow those, because we just decided to do the majority of all of the vegetables and fruits that I just mentioned. So I get like my cilantro and oregano, basil, all those kind of things from Ridolph. So it's kind of like I'm keeping it in house, but I'm not growing all of it on my own. Some, and then they help me out with. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. So everybody, again, put your questions in the Q&A section for Mary. Um, I will ask a couple of questions here that I wrote down. The first is your book. How do people get your book?
So you can purchase my book on Amazon.com. As soon as you type in from this to that, I will pop up. You can also purchase my book at vitaminkandie.com, which is my website, and I'll ship it to you. And so those are the two ways. Or if you're in Cleveland, you can come to my location and pick it up.
Perfect, perfect. And then my tongue-in-cheek question is, when is the cookbook coming out? But I like the HelloFresh vitamin candy delivery idea more. But cookbooks, are you trying to be the next Tabitha Brown? Like what does that look like?
Great question. Yes, I'm actually working on my from this to that point too, and it's like another transformation, but now it's going to be meals and everything in there, and this time I'm making an ebook so that it's more accessible. I had to think about COVID, and
Mhm.
sometimes people, like I said, that person to person contact, people are really funny, especially with the second strand coming out and stuff like that. So I decided to go with the ebook this time around, which saves on cost And it'll be a little bit easier to access. I'm trying to get into that technology aspect of it because a lot of people like to read on their Kindles and and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So of course I will create a paperback rendition of it, but I'm going to start with the ebook, and it will have
Perfect.
recipes in it. And yes, I love Tabitha. I would love to be the next Tabitha Brown. If that's in my cards and God got that for me, I would definitely be. I would love to meet her one
You'll
day.
take it, right?
Yes,
Next,
yes, yes.
next question is, thanks for your hard work in the wellness space. Will you have delivery in your business model or partner with existing companies?
Yes, I've currently partnered with DoorDash, and I am working on Uber right now. My other space at Glenville was much smaller, so I didn't need it at first. But now that it has grown and I have this West Side community that's come over, I'm starting to pick up a lot more, and they're asking for delivery. So I just signed up for Uber, and when I move on the West Side, I will definitely have DoorDash, Uber Eats, and I think it's another one. It's some type of, it's called Open Table that's here in Cleveland. I don't know if that's everywhere, but it's this thing called Open Table. So it'll be
Yeah,
those three. And then if God see fits, I'll be able to hire some delivery drivers to just do some personal delivery after that. Yeah.
perfect. Another question here. What is the shelf life of your sea moss products and where do you get your sea moss? Is the sea moss wild crafted?
Good question. Actually, it is, and I get my sea moss from over in West Indies. I've been doing it since 2010, and I actually get it in its raw form, and I grind it up, and then I make it into the capsules. The capsules are vegan capsules. So if you put it in water, it'll melt. You don't have to just swallow it if you don't want to. And the shelf life on that does not start until you open it up, but it's very, very, very long. You have about 6 months to take those capsules before they start to do something, because the container I have them in are biodegradable, so it kind of preserves the actual herb. Yeah.
Perfect. Next question about your long-term strategy. What is your long-term strategy for Vitamin Kandie? What is your exit plan? If you plan on scaling, or do you plan to build before selling, scaling, all of those things?
Yes, the long-term strategy is to ultimately, I believe that if I go into wholesale by 2022, that will help me gain enough revenue to start creating. I want to create franchises. I think like I think the biggest thing for us now is to really kind of bring that old school way of living back around. And if I can help someone start their own business in the health and wellness industry, and then I just go up on the back end by selling my blueprint, you understand what I'm saying? Then that will be, I want to create franchises all over the world if I can,
Mhm.
so that's my long term strategy. The exit is to ultimately, once I do that, I'm out of the business, I'm on the back end, and then I can kind of just make money in my sleep with my products, because they should be forever lasting. They're going to keep going, even when it's out of my hands and I turn it over to co-packing and being able to produce on a mass level. I'll be able to do that with the products, and then it'll free me up to just be more available to go and do more motivational speaking, and just kind of, like I said, reaching back and helping someone else and teaching them the ropes so that they can keep the trend going.
Perfect. Next question. How are the products delivered nationally and what is the delivery time?
So through shipping, we could do it through FedEx, we do it through USPS, and it's no longer than 3 day turnaround. So, but due to COVID, honestly, it depends on the postal service. They kind of, I just literally just went through this. Someone's delivery was like delayed only 2 days, but as soon as you order, it depends on how bulk or how much of a bulk that you order, you usually have a 24-hour turnaround, but no longer than 3 days. No longer than 3 days.
Okay. Next question here. With the CCA group, as far as the food that you guys give away to those in need, is some of the food your healthy meals? Just curious.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. What we do is with CCA, I'm glad you asked that. It's a group of us, and you probably didn't know this. It's a group of us that I have a nonprofit partnerships, and
Mhm.
we feed the Glenville community like 3 times a week. And then once a month, we
Okay.
have a big celebration. And so with CCA, we do provide healthy cooking classes and all that kind of stuff. And we do give away, and they have big bags of food that they come and get. We get donations from like the Cleveland Food Bank, and we have healthier items. Like it'll be like some fresh veggies, and then sometimes we'll have like canned beans and stuff like that, just for families that, you know, can just try to make that out of a meal. But yes, we definitely offer healthy items.
Perfect. Another question here. I love the journey you took us on regarding the evolution of your business. Would you consider an equity crowdfunding campaign at some point?
You kind of broke up a little bit at the end of that.
Oh,
You sound like a robot.
oh,
I didn't
sorry.
hear.
I was trying to get my what do you call it, podcast voice on. The question is, I love the journey you took us on regarding the evolution of your business. Would you consider an equity crowdfunding campaign at some point?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm open to things like that.
Mhm.
I really get excited when people are interested in investing in my business. And I think that's a different way to go about, you know, raising some revenue for the business. Sure.
Now, Valerie, I should not ask this question. Now,
Uh-oh.
Valerie. All right, here it goes. On your website ordering your book, is there a coupon code you can give me to use?
Well, actually, I do. I'm participating in the NBA draft, and I will have coupons coming up right now in another week. I'm waiting on them to create my QR code. So, unfortunately, right now, I do not have one, but I will in the future. So, check back next week, and you'll be able to get that money off.
Valerie,
15%.
she's raising money for her business. Valerie. All right, I'm not gonna put you on blast,
That's
Valerie.
all
I just
right.
thought it was funny. All right. Any other questions? Put them in the Q&A for us. Any other questions for Mary? Put them in the Q&A. Otherwise, I'm going to give it just 2 more minutes. So, Mary, you talked about wanting to franchise. You talked about the growth of your business. What team members do you think you need over the next couple of years to really be a success? To like get this, I hate to say the next level, but to reach your next milestone. Like, who are you looking for in your team?
You said over the next 2 years or 10 years?
Oh, well, both. Yeah, both.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't gotten to the
Okay.
10-year mark yet, but over the next 2 years, definitely general managers, at least two. And I have a great marketing specialist, so I'm going to stick with her. And a great financial advisor that takes care of all of my payroll, even on to financial investments that I need, and a team of at least 7 to 10 people that can help me with business operations. And so that way I can be completely out of the business, and I just, you know, do my check-ins, but let the general manager, assistant managers work on it, cashiers, cooks, greeters, all that kind of stuff. So in the next 10 years, I'm hoping that if I have them franchised, then that staff will be massive, and then I'll be able to give more jobs to the community.
Perfect. And I'm gonna say here, we got to own the real estate, girl. You got
Yes.
to own
Yes.
that way. Something happens to the mall, it doesn't matter because you own the real estate. So put that out
I,
there for you too.
in
Um,
the
so
atmosphere.
you and all the franchisees own the real. That's what McDonald's does. So hey, um, Sandra is asking, is that you in the before and after picture? If so, what do I need to order? I put, put the two questions together.
Yes, and what you see before you, that vitamin candy, recovery, recharge, recovery, and reset, exactly how that order is. That's exactly how I was drinking the juices for 3 days. And I ate raw vegan for 3 days straight and drank a gallon of water. And you're definitely guaranteed to lose 5 to 8 pounds. But remember, it's a jump start to your process. You have to
Mhm.
change your mind so that you can change your body, and your spirit will follow. If you don't have that ready to go, then vitamin candy may not be the answer for you, because it's definitely a mental, spiritual, and physical transformation. You got to do all three.
Perfect. Another question here. As far as expanding to a franchise, what cities are you targeting or have you planned out that far?
I have. Last year, I started in Atlanta. I had did a speaking engagement there with this women's group, and someone reached back out to me and said that they had a space in the mall that they were looking at, and they had all this investment money that they wanted to invest. They didn't know what they wanted to invest in, but they thought about me. And I would definitely like to be in Atlanta, first of all, because Slutty Vegan, I think, is doing an amazing job. But I think I'm just a tad bit different than Slutty Vegan. And I will have something, different to offer. So the mall, I want to say it's Eaton. What I think is it Eaton Mall? I forget what it's called. The mall at the biggest mall in Atlanta was one of the spaces that was being offered. And I was like, well, I wasn't ready yet because I was still trying to get my other ones off the ground, but definitely Atlanta. I was asked about Texas. I would be interested in that. And North Carolina. I visited Lenox Mall. Thank you. Someone put in there. And I was visited North Carolina, and they are really a food desert. When I say, they really don't have a lot of what I'm doing out there, I would definitely be interested. I would probably go to North Carolina first, being Atlanta. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Any other questions? Put them in the Q&A for us, everybody. Any other questions? Put them in the Q&A for us. So with that, oh, we have another question here. Are you currently seeking Black and Brown business partnerships as well as existing collaborations? In short, your business represents great opportunities for us.
Absolutely. I'm always open to that. I don't think that we can get anywhere without helping each other. I've always
Mhm.
been, that's why I'm a part of CCA, and we all bring something different to the table. And I'm always open. And if the relationship match, then we can go for it. And that's another reason why I did the honeycomb campaign, because I want people to understand that this is just not crowdfunding. You're investing in someone else's health, or changing their lives. We're doing this as partners. I want you to look at me as a partner and not just a business that you're just let borrow some money, so to speak. If I want to put it in layman's terms, just we're partners. So if you invest in me, then you can help me help the community.
Perfect. Any other questions? Put them in the Q&A, please. Um, so, you know, we've kind of asked where you see yourself going. We've asked team members. Is there any question you think we should have asked you that we didn't think about?
Um, no, not really. But what I can tell you is, and I will share this about lifestyle change, because you never know who's on video, watching this presentation. And if you even second guessed yourself about making that lifestyle, that healthy lifestyle change, just go ahead and do it. I think COVID has woke up a lot of people, and we all had to think on our toes, especially, if you're an entrepreneur. I don't care what business that you're in. If you're an entrepreneur, you really have to think on your feet of what's the next level? What can I do? And a lot of my extended product lines came out of this. And one thing I can say for sure is, if you find a healthy life balance, that you will definitely have some longevity, and your system will be able to fight off anything that's being put in our way. I honestly do believe that. And so, yeah, if it's anything else, I would have to say will be to really push that wellness aspect of it. And let's get back to the old times and how our grandmothers and grandfathers would work on the farms and bring those things to the table. It's okay to eat that way. It's not healthy food. It is real
Mhm.
food.
Well, I want to thank everyone for being here this evening, all of your questions and all of the chat as well. Our admin has put the link several times in the chat. And for everyone watching the replay, of course, you will be able to find the link as well to the campaign. Go again, in the words of Tawana, do your research, read the Form C, read all of the documents, watch the video, do your independent research, buy products if you feel like that is something that you want to do. Tawana is telling me share the campaign. And most of all, you know, tell your family and friends about the 10K project. And we will see you next week. So thank you so much, Mary, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. and the replay will go out later tonight, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Mary.
Bye.
Bye-bye.